Hi CCC family, it's Dawn Marie with Custom Comfy Crochet, and today we're going to learn how to make this really cool wreath granny square. Or you could just make the wreath by itself, put a little hanger on the top of yarn, and you've also got a wreath ornament. So this is kind of a twofold wonderful little project that you can do here. Great fun. I think it's pretty easy. I think anyone can figure it out. So yeah, so let's get into the material. So for today, you're going to be using a 5.5 millimeter hook. Remember, if you want to make this smaller, use a smaller hook. If you want to make it bigger, use a bigger hook. You'll need a pair of scissors, and you're going to need a darning needle, and that's just to work in your ends at the end, okay? You might call it a crochet needle as well. So that's all you're going to need for this. I used two different colors of yarn. I used a lot of different yarns. This one is Karen's Simply Soft, so as you can tell, or no, I'm sorry, this is Caboo yarn. This is the Caboo yarn in pink. And it doesn't puff out quite as much as this one because this is a lionbrand thicker yarn. So again, it all depends on what you want for your project. I just wanted you to show you the difference in the different types of yarn. If you have a bigger yarn, it's going to be puffier and stand out more. And if you have a softer yarn like this Caboo yarn, which is, I think it's like cotton and bamboo together, so it's more spread out. So just keep that in mind, okay? And real quick, before we get started, I wanted to ask you to please hit that red subscribe button below and hit the notify me button so that you can get notified for all my future videos. Please like and share this video. Sharing helps more than anything. If you can share with your crochet groups or your friends or family, Instagram, TikTok, all those, Facebook, all those places, that helps more than anything for YouTube content creators, okay? So, all right, let's get going. Okay, so I'm going to use my alternating yarn. As you can see here, you've got one row here made of this color, and that's just so that the wreath really stands out. You could do it all one if you wanted to, but I think it shows that there's like a window kind of like there. So I'm going to start off with the white and then go into the other color. But we're going to start off with a base here. I'm going to make a magic circle. And then after you make your magic circle, you're going to chain 3. That counts as your first double crochet. And then you're going to put 11 double crochets into the circle. Okay, and now, so technically we have 12 double crochets counting our first chain of 3, and then you're going to tighten that magic circle up, and you're going to slip stitch into the top of your first chain of 3. But before you follow through with that slip stitch, I want you to bring in your other color, and this is going to be the color of your wreath. So I'm going to pull in this pretty turquoise color as my slip stitch. And I'm going to turn it over, and I can go ahead and cut off this white for now. Then I'm just going to go ahead and tie this so it doesn't come undone, and we can work these in later, okay? And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain 3, and in that same spot I'm going to put a double crochet. So technically that's 2 double crochet. And then I'm going to go into my next spot and I'm going to put 2 double crochet. And into the next, I'm going to put 2 double crochet. And into the next, 2 double crochet. And just keep doing that all the way around, and you should have a stitch count of 24. Okay, so now we have our stitch count of 24, and we're going to slip stitch into the top of our chain of 3. And then we're going to chain 3 again. And in that same spot, we're going to put 1 more double crochet. And then we're going to go into our next spot and put 1 double crochet. And into the next, we're going to put 2 double crochet. And into the next, 1 double crochet. and into the next 2 double crochets. And just keep repeating that pattern all the way around. You should have a stitch count of 36. Okay, so now we have our 36 stitches, and we're going to slip stitch into the top of our chain of 3. Just like that. And now we're going to cut off now. We're going to work on how we're going to make this beautiful wreath right here in the center like this. So what we're going to be doing is using a series of Solomon knots, and it's really easy. I'm going to show you how to do this. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your hook, you're going to go under one of these double crochet right here in the first round we did of the white double crochet, and we're going to pull in our green color. Okay, you're going to do a single crochet, bringing in your yarn there, and then you're going to pull your yarn up just like this. So you've got a big loop on your hook. You're going to go through, pull yarn over, pull through, holding your thumb here to hold these 2 pieces of yarn apart, just like this. And when you see that, you've got these 2 over here, and then you've got 1 over here. You're going to go between these, not between these, but between these. If you tried to go in between these, it's not going to work. So you want to go between these these loops right here, and you're going to pull up and do a single crochet. And then you're going to do that again. You're going to pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through, holding your thumb here to hold these apart, and then you're going to go through these right here, pull up, and do a single crochet. Okay? Then you're going to go right back into the same spot, and you're going to put a single crochet. And see, that causes that to move down, and then you're going to repeat the process again. So I'm going to pull up a loop with my hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull through, holding my thumb here to hold these 2 open. Then I'm going to go through the middle there, pull up, and do a single crochet. And again, pull up a loop. And I like to try to make these the same size, but really it's almost impossible to do them exactly. So just do the best you can. Then yarn over, pull through, holding your thumb to separate these. Go through the middle of those loops, pull up, and do a single crochet. Then you're going to go back into the same spot, put a single crochet to anchor all of those there, just like that. Then you're going to go into your next double crochet post here, and you're going to work around this one. Okay, so you're going to do a single crochet, and then you're going to pull up. Then you're going to go through that loop, go through again, and pull up a single crochet, and again pull up your loop, yarn over, pull through, keep your thumb here, go through the middle, do a single crochet. Then go back into the same spot, put a single crochet, and do that again. Pull up your loop, okay. Then go into the same spot, close it all off with a single crochet, and then go on to your next post. And the next post, again, put a single crochet and start your Solomon knot. So you're going to, again, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through, holding your thumb to separate these, then go through the middle of those loops, pull up, do a single crochet, and then repeat. Pull up a loop, go through, and do your single crochet. Then go back into the same spot, do a single crochet, and do your Solomon knot again. And then to close that all off, you're going to go into the same spot and do a single crochet, and then you would go into your next post again. So that's what you're going to do all the way around this circle here. You're going to do the same thing with the Solomon knots. And then you're going to bring in the green yarn exactly the way I just showed you with this round. you're going to bring it in with this next round of double crochets up here, working around these double crochet posts. And your second round here, you're going to do the exact same thing. You can bring it in the yarn wherever you want. Just remember to do exactly just what I showed you, and then just keep going around. When you get to the end, just find a place here to slip stitch to your first one, your first Solomon loop. Doesn't matter where, it's all going to be hidden, and then you're going to work in your ends, okay? So I'm going to go ahead, you go ahead and finish yours. I'm going to finish mine, and then we're going to come back together. I'm going to show you how to finish this up, how to turn it into an ornament, how to do the bow, and how to add a granny square if you wish. Okay guys, so I finished mine. For this one, I did not do the white in the middle, but I would definitely suggest doing that. I just did this real quick for the video. So now I'm going to show you how to make this really cool bow for your wreath. Now, there's a couple bows that you could make for this to make it easier. You could just cut a piece of yarn and then you could thread it through your loops like this. And you could do a bow, a simple bow, just like that, like you were tying a pair of shoes, you know, and, you know, just have it down like that. You could do a simple bow just like that. But to show you how to do the one that you see in the thumbnail and you saw in the video, I'm going to show you how to do that. It's really easy. So all you're going to do is you're going to make a slip knot and you're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then in the second stitch from your hook, you're going to put a half double crochet, and then you're just going to half double crochet all the way down, and that'll leave you with 4. And this will be the width of your bow. Okay, and then you would chain 1, turn your work, go into this first stitch right here, and do a half double crochet, and then go down, and again you're still going to have 4 half double crochets. And you're just going to keep doing this until you get the bow as long as you want it to be. Now it will be this way, going this length. And now I'm going to cut off. Again, you'll need to work in these ends. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the white yarn, and I'm still keeping it on my actual, I'm not cutting anything off. It's still attached to my skein. And I'm going to simply tie a knot right here in the middle of my bow, just like this. I want to make sure I get right there in the middle. And then I'm going to do it again. And that's going to cause it to really look more bowish. Okay, and then you're going to take this and you're going to wrap it around the center, just like that. Until you get the middle of the bow exactly like you like it. And I think that's good right there. So then I'm going to cut off the bottom, leaving enough space there to work in, okay? Okay, so then I'm going to take my darning needle with this piece that we have left over here. And I'm going to work it into the back of my bow so it doesn't come undone. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I'm going to cut that off. Okay, just like that. I'm going to go ahead and work in my ends. And there you have a bow right there. And then we're going to make the little straps for the bow that come down. So to do that, to do these pieces right here, we're going to simply chain 3, make a slip knot, and chain 3. And then you're going to put a half double crochet in the second stitch from the hook. And then you're going to do that again into the next stitch, which means you have 2. And then you're going to chain 1, turn your work, and do a half double crochet in the next stitch, a half double crochet in the next. And again, chain 1, turn your work, half double crochet in this first stitch, half double crochet in the second, chain 1, turn your work, and you're just going to keep doing that until you get it as long as you want for the little pieces that hang down from your bow. Okay, and then you can just cut off, leave a long strand to help you work these in, okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to turn it just like this, just like you were making a little mini scarf. So I'm just folding it over itself just like that. And then because these are working on the bottoms here, I'm going to actually have to pull off a piece of white yarn. So I'm going to cut a piece of white yarn just like that, about maybe like a foot long. Then I'm going to take my darning needle and I'm going to sew this portion onto my bow. Okay. So I'm going to take my bow right here. I'm going to lay it over that. So these pieces are pointing down. I'm going to leave these strands on because I'm going to use these to sew onto the wreath. But now if you're making a bow for something different from this video, you can work those in. Okay. So I'm going to lay that right over that. I'm going to turn this over. And then I'm going to sew this on to the back here. So I'm just going to go through, leave a piece in the back to work in. And then I'm just going to basically sew this into place right here in the middle. Okay, and look at that. We've got a beautiful bow. Now, what I'm going to do for this project that we're working on here for the wreath, I'm going to leave this strand on here because I'm going to use this to sew on, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and work this in, this other piece that we pulled it in with. I'm going to work it in 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and then I can cut that off. And then this other piece that we had left, I'm going to use to sew. Okay. So I'm going to take my wreath, just like this. I'm going to find out exactly where I want it to be placed. You could use a stick pin for this if you need to, just to make sure that it stays in place right where you want it. So I will take a stick pin. You don't have to do that, but I'm just going to put it right there. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to sew it in. So I'm going to go through the back, just like this. Back in again. And I'm just going to work with the flow of my bow so that I don't mess it up in any way, okay? So I'm just working with the bow, because we just don't want to see the stitches from the front, okay? So just like that. And you can see I didn't put it so much at the top that you can't see these Solomon knots coming out here, okay? And now we've got that in, so we can move our stick pin. And these don't have to be sewed down, but I have found that they like to stick up like that. So I do like to put a couple stitches for those. And so then all I'm going to do in the back is I'm going to make sure that I work this white in so it doesn't come undone. And I'm going to try to hide it as best as I can so that you can't see it in the back. You might be able to see a tiny bit. Okay, so I've worked that in 3 times. I'm going to pull and cut. And then I'm going to take these pieces that were on the ends of our bow, and I'm just simply going to go right through where I want them to come down at. So right there. I'm going to pull that one through. And then I'm going to put this one right over here, just like that. And that'll just cause those to stay down. And isn't that beautiful? So now I'm going to work these ends in the back the way I just showed you how to work the other ones. Okay, so we're going to be working to make our granny square in these back double crochet posts that we did in our first rows, okay? So we're going to be working in these 36 double crochets around to make our granny square. Now, normally it would be better to put the bow on at the end because you're going to be making a square out of all this and you want your bow to be centered properly, but I wanted to show you how to do the ornament and how to make the bow first. So I'm going to try my best to make this still centered, but when you do yours, if you wait to do the bow last, you won't have to worry about where you place your granny square. You can start anywhere you want. I hope that makes sense. But at any rate, I'm going to count over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm going to line it up right here and hope it turns out well. And I'm going to pull in my yarn right here, and we're going to do a chain of 3. Then you're going to put a double crochet. Then you're going to chain 2. And then you're going to put 2 more double crochets. So we're doing a corner here to start with. Okay, so that chain of 3 started as your double crochet, then you did a double crochet, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets. And now you're going to do 8 half double crochets across. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then in this next stitch, you're going to do a corner again. So you're going to do 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets. Then you're going to do 8 half double crochets. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then you're going to do another corner again. So do 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets. Okay, then you're going to do 8 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then you're going to do another corner again. So you're going to do 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets. And then you're going to work 8 half double crochets across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, and then you can slip stitch to your first chain of 3, just like that. And now you've got the beginning of your granny square. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're right here above this stitch right here, you're going to chain 3. Then you're going to go into your next stitch and you're going to work a double crochet. And then you're going to go into this corner and you're going to make another corner by doing the same thing, 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets. And then you're going to put double crochets all across the top until you get to your next corner. Okay, so now we're at our next corner. We're going to do 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets. So you're just going to keep repeating this all the way around till you get back here to your first chain of 3, and then you're just going to slip stitch, and then you're going to be all done with this project. So I don't think I need to keep going because you know how to do it now. You're just going to keep going round and round. Make sure that you put your corners correctly here. And then it's going to turn out absolutely beautiful. You've got a granny square surrounding a gorgeous wreath and a bow. So that's how you do that. Please remember that you can just leave the wreath as is and make an ornament out of that. You could also turn just the granny square into an ornament. It's absolutely gorgeous. You could put a little hanger on each side, because if you did one right in the middle, it'd probably curve in, but I would put like one hanger on each side, and then you could hang just the granny square alone on your tree. You could make a beautiful blanket. There's so much that you could do with these. They're absolutely gorgeous. So I hope you enjoyed this video. As I said before, please like, share, and subscribe. It helps so much, and I really appreciate all you guys. I'm really just overwhelmed with the views and the subscribers on this channel right now. I said this in a video previously, but we've got like well over 19,000 subscribers, and I just want to thank you so much. I hope you're having a safe and healthy holiday season, and I hope you're preparing for everything and having fun, whatever your choice of holiday is, whatever you like to celebrate. So thanks again for watching. I'll see you again soon. Happy crocheting. Bye.